Farmers in Georgia rely on research done at the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences at the University of Georgia to remain competitive in the market. Plant breeders and pathologists and agronomists come together to release new techniques and new varieties. The plant breeders in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences and in the Plant Breeding, Genetics, and Genomics Center UGA focus on traits that will be beneficial to Georgia farmers, like fungus resistance and drought tolerance for our challenging climate. But when a new variety is created, how is it released in a systematic way to the farmer? When a new variety is ready to be released, the breeder applies to release the variety with UGARV. This enters the variety into Georgia's integrated cultivar release system. Brent Marable is going to address the legality of plant variety release at UGA.
With a plant breeder talking directly with our office and managers here that handle specifically plant-related inventions, it really streamlines the process of getting it from the field or the lab into the market. And first of all, the first thing we want to do is to protect it. So through a plant patent or a utility patent or a plant variety protection certificate, and sometimes even just a trademark, are ways that we can protect it before we get it out there to the market. And depending on what type of crop it is, depends on what type of specific intellectual property protection is needed.
After UGARV has patented and licensed the novel and beneficial plant, it is up to the GSDC to produce and maintain a foundation seed stock. Next is Dr. Borma from GSDC and on the process of creating foundation seed.
First of all, it serves as sort of a bridge, if you will, a conduit between the plant breeders, primarily at the University of Georgia, and the commercial companies that finally license the material. So our job there is to provide those companies genetically pure foundation seed. So basically the product that the breeder gives us is this exact same product that the company receives. Typically, we can use the example of soybean because I worked a number of years with it and I'm familiar with it. The breeder would give the Georgia seed development maybe up to 5 bushel, maybe 10 bushel of seed, and the licensee usually wants between 800 and 1,600 units of seed, which is basically bushels, if you will. And so our job then is, the first part of our job is to make certain that we have contract growers that are very reliable, that we synchronize with Georgia Crop Improvement and what we do, and then make certain that before we harvest that product that new breeder product that was planted, that the growers' combine, the contract growers' combines are cleaned out, the wagons or the trailers are cleaned out, that the bins are cleaned out, that all these steps of quality control are properly done.
Working alongside GSCD and monitoring their seed increases is Georgia Crop Improvement Association. GCIA follows the plant phenotyping descriptions given to them by UGARV, who worked with the plant breeder to determine the novel phenotype of that plant. To discuss the purpose of GCIA is Billy Skaggs.
Georgia Crop Improvement Association, we're a nonprofit organization with a primary mission of seed and turfgrass certification, with the main goal of making sure that when farmers, growers purchase seed, that they're getting what they paid for. They're getting seed that's certified and true to type. It's the right variety. It's free of noxious weeds. It has a certain percent germination, so quality is a big part of it. And so in seed certification, our mission is to make sure that farmers get what they paid for. There's a few ways that we do that. We start off with a known planting stock with a variety that we know to be right and pure, and then it's expanded over a series of generations to get enough seed so that growers can use it. We start out with foundation class seed, which is grown by Georgia Seed Development, and then the farmer or the seed company will take that foundation class material and plant it. The next generation will be registered class seed, And then from there, they take registered class seed to plant the next generation, which will produce certified seed. And that certified seed is what the farmers actually will produce.
The College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, University of Georgia's Research Fund, Georgia Seed Development Commission, and Georgia Crop Improvement Association form what is known as Georgia Integrated Cultivar Release System.
So all four of those entities that you just mentioned operate separately from one another, and we all have our own individual missions, goals, and objectives that we do as the greater organizations. However, where our lines of responsibilities cross one another is when we are delivering plant varieties to the marketplace. So the first part of that leg is the College of Agriculture, and that's developing new varieties by the plant breeders and the researchers at the university. Once those are developed, then the University of Georgia Research Foundation works with getting intellectual property protection as well as licensing those varieties to companies that can use them for others to benefit from. Georgia Seed Development Commission is very much involved in that process of having seed or plants available of these new releases that can initially go to those licensees so they can get a head start on what they're working on. And then Georgia Crop Improvement Association is involved in a couple of different ways, almost independently, but they're involved with certification of seeds and some plant varieties, but mostly seeds, as well as an auditing process where they go in and make sure that the royalty that's being generated is accurately paid back into the system.